I thought there was a chance, and I think both Joe Buck and Troy Aikman thought there was a good chance that Drew Lock was going to take the field for the second half last night because Teddy Bridgewater struggled. Now, Teddy took him right down the field to score a touchdown to end that talk and to make it clear that he was going to be the guy the rest of the game. But I don't know, at what point do they shake it up? You know, I've said all along, Teddy Bridgewater has the higher floor but the lower ceiling. At some point, you got to reach for the brass ring and go with the guy that has the higher ceiling if you want to turn around a season that's slipping out of your fingers.
Yeah, I was surprised at that too because, look, that interception that Teddy Bridgewater threw last night, that was a terrible, terrible throw and a bad, bad decision. And to me, I look at this team. I think we're going to see it right here. That team right now, we're not going to see it. But that team right now, when you look at them, you say, this team has so little margin for error. It's microscopic. And that's why, to me, the one thing this first 7 weeks of this season has done is it's shown me that the Denver Broncos, again, are going to be in the market for a quarterback this coming off season. It's like the never-ending quest. You go back to Brock Osweiler, Mike, 7 years they've been looking for their quarterback of the future. The Miami Dolphins, and we'll get to them, but the Miami Dolphins and the Denver Broncos, it's almost the same thing. The Broncos put a Peyton Manning Band-Aid on it for 4 years, but then they knew all along we need somebody for the future. And it's amazing the resources that they have used to try to get their quarterback of the future. And now they've got to try again in 2022. They just have to pray that they can put the best package together and that Aaron Rodgers would want to come to Denver.
And everything that they've tried to do hasn't worked, from drafting to signing free agents, nothing. And now this most recent one was a trade for Teddy Bridgewater, and everybody loves him, and he won the job in training camp in the preseason, but now he's showing that the ceiling is lower than maybe we thought it was for him and for the Denver Broncos. And, you know, Peter, Vic Fangio has to worry. We're getting closer and closer to the inevitable point where 5, 6, 7, who knows how many coaches are going to get fired. George Paton did not hire Vic Fangio. George Paton has no allegiance or loyalty to Vic Fangio. Every guy who becomes a GM has been carrying around a secret list of coaches I'd love to hire when I become a GM. And chances are Vic Fangio's name is not on George Paton's short list. There are others who are, and if the team doesn't get it done, Fangio will be done, and Paton will be able to hire a head coach as soon as next year. That's just a reality. That's how it works. And Fangio, he's been around long enough to know that's how it works. They got to win some games. It looked good at first, but then it all started to fall apart, and here they are at 3-4 in a tough conference, in a tough division, where it's not going to be easy to climb back out of this hole. And now on top of everything else, Von Miller has a sprained ankle. He says he's confident he's not going to miss time. It didn't look good when it happened. It looked more like a knee when it happened. But,
yeah,
you know, injuries have been an issue for the Broncos the past few years too. And as you said, no one's going to shed tears for you because your guys are injured. The question is, what kind of a team do you have behind your starters with guys who can come in and play? And last night it was clear that the Browns were better in that regard, and the Broncos still need to do some work.
Look, they just don't have right now, and who would have? They've got, I think, 5 linebackers on injured reserve right now. They do not have the the depth. No team would have the depth to fix that, but particularly against the run. You saw it on the first series of the game. I mean, I'm telling you, when I watched that, I just said to myself, how in the world can Vic Fangio survive this? How can he survive this? And you know, look, I feel bad for him. He's got an epidemic of injuries, and they came at the wrong time, and he doesn't have an answer at quarterback again. And it's looking again like it's going to be a 6-11 season or something like that. I don't know. But how is Vic Fangio going to survive this? And to me, it's unfortunate. It's kind of sad because, you know, in essence, he was a victim of not getting a quarterback, and not only not getting a quarterback, but in having a spate of injuries at a crucial position that allowed teams to run roughshod over you. I mean, to me, it's kind of a miracle when you think about it, Mike. They only gave up 17 points last night. I mean, after that first drive, I thought they would have given up 37. So, they obviously made some adjustments that helped, but at the end of the day, it's still a loss.
And the big picture question for the Broncos, and the signs are pointing generally in that direction. No one's come out and said it yet. It sure looks like this team's going to be sold in the offseason, that no one from the Bolin family is going to be able to pull this off where the appropriate funding can be raised to buy out the reluctant members of the family who would prefer to just sell the team and cash out. You got 7 people involved in this. I think it's going to get sold, and that's going to change everything. And frankly, I think the Broncos badly need, Peter, one owner. They haven't had that voice of authority, that vision that you maybe need when it's time to come into a meeting and clunk heads together and say, we got to have a better plan for what we're going to do at quarterback. And I want to know what the plan is, and I'm going to be part of that plan. Owners like to stay in the background and act like they don't have a finger in the soup. They do. They do. And sometimes it's bad when they do. Sometimes it's good. But the common thread dating back a decade in Denver is Pat Bolin handed management of the team over to a 3-person trust who handed it over to John Elway, and we saw what happened with Elway. Elway failed upward, frankly, to this position he now has, and they brought in George Payton, and that's that. All right.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.